Man, it's beautiful out here. Pretty rare. So the car, still clean, which is good. So after I got back from the muffler shop, got it all nice and cleaned up, and it looks pretty good. Went to church this morning, and then this came in the mail yesterday. This is the adapter for the mass airflow sensor. This allows you to put a cone filter directly on it, which is really all you have to do on these cars. It's pretty awesome. Came with a rubber gasket, and I've got some fasteners here to get this thing together. So here's under the hood, and it could use a little bit of cleaning, but overall it's actually fairly clean under here. I've seen a lot worse. This needs a little bit of wiping down. It really looks pretty good. It has a Japanese Hella battery, so that moved over with it. This car does have HID, so it's got a box on both sides. So should be pretty cool. So the first thing we got to do is pull this panel off. There's a bolt there and a bolt there. We'll pull it out of the way. So once that's two bolts are gone, you just lift this thing up, pull it out of the little pins in the front. That is it for that. I love how this car has like perfect looking emblems. So there's our air box. You've got a filter here and another one on the other side. So you just got to take this up out of the way. So the first thing we've got to do is disconnect the air hose from the air box and mass airflow, and go ahead and pop all of these up, get those undone, take out these screws, loosen up this one, then we can lift this up out of the way and then actually get to these bolts right here. All right, so now I've got this pushed back and this will collapse down and drop in behind it. I've got all the bolts out here, everything's done without scratching the heck out of your front bumper. So I'm going to use two hands. So now that this is up, here's the mass airflow. These are 10 millimeters. So pull the mass airflow off of there. Here's your filters on each side. So pull the mass airflow off, and that can go away. So now that the mass airflow is off, best thing to do is put those same bolts right back in there so you don't lose them and keep the original part together. So now the mass airflow is just up out of the way. Now what we have to do is figure out how to get the rest of the box out, which I'm sure these bolts here, pull it out. Don't know if there's any more, but that's what we gotta find. So it looks like they technically want you to take this front bumper off because the other bracket is right down in here. It's very hard to see, but the front of the bolt is up in here. So I'm gonna see if I can get a wrench back in there without taking the front bumper off, because that's a big job just to take out the airbox. All right, I was able to get the two 10 millimeter bolts that come off this little bracket right here out of the front, but now I've got to get that bracket around and up. Luckily, this piece will bend slightly here in the middle. It's just that thin plastic there, so I'm hoping I can kind of just get it to go one way or the other and then pull up out of here without having to pull the front bumper off. So we will see. All right, I was able to kind of push it down this way, and you see it's a little tweaked right now, but this piece is up out of here, so I should be able to move just a little bit more and pull this on up out of here. So we'll see. So I just realized that it is connected to this little bottom panel right here. So that screw right there, where's that there? So I'm gonna pull those out. Okay, once I got these little bolts up out of here, or that little splash apron that's there, that actually came out fairly easy. It's just a little difficult to get down here. And if you can see this little splash apron, but that little piece there, which I'm going to leave because I think it's good, because right down here is just the grill. So this will keep any water from splashing up into the filter. So it should be good. And then there's the recirculation valves for both turbos. And this may add some sound. If it does, and I may not worry about changing those, but If it doesn't, then I may look at capping these off or something. So we will see. And not capping them off, but putting in some blow-off valves and capping these off. So now you take the new cone filter, and then take the adapter here and fit it into it. And this seems like it's gonna be kind of tight. Yeah, that was super tight, but at least it's on there now. So tighten up this clamp, and then we'll attach it to the mass airflow there. All right, there is the finished piece. Now we just got to send this down in here and fit this back up into there, which may be another small chore. That's it. The cone filter is installed, and a little apron here shields it from any moisture, but it can definitely get plenty of air there. And you got your stock air ducts that are still blowing in air into this area too. So of course the fan's pulling fresh air through here also. So I'm wondering if it's going to change the sound any. I'm not sure there'll be any performance notices, possibly better throttle response, but we'll see. All right, I had the car idling for a little while now. It's starting to warm up. I'm going to try to see if we can hear anything from up here. The diverter's blasting off a little bit down there now. Probably be a lot louder up here, but all right, I'm gonna take it for a little drive, see if that made any difference. It does seem like you can hear the turbos spool up a little bit, and you can hear the diverters. So we'll see. Here's a little pull for you. That feels pretty good. It's moving out. Throttle response on this thing actually feels pretty good. I'm not sure it's any better with the filter, but it does, the butt dyno lies, but it does seem to have a little bit more speed and power and stuff. It's kind of crazy that that it does feel a little bit more, but like I said, the butt dyno always lies, but you know.